Greetings. Early Saturday. Expect to be already from the beginning. My chat line is telling me I'm having line issues. Anyway, it is Saturday morning. I'm not at the lab today. I'm here at the wife's salon. We just went out to the main road. We walked down and got some breakfast. And I decided I wanted to come out and do the show while I was still awake. Now I know the chat line won't be that busy today because it's late at night. But I really wanted to come on and thank you guys for the super chats. Helios Ajaba, I hope that's right. Helios Ajaba out of London. I appreciate. Thanks for the super chat. And for the rest of you guys, I just said early before we get into the show, this is how you can super chat us in Africa. We're rebelling against the U.S.'s blockage of super chat in Africa. It's obvious that they don't want to let their money leave the country on something where someone can talk about America and then get paid for it. It's and then also, how can you? Well, Western Union, you can send money and then. I believe you can deduct that money from your taxes as a donation. So, and you have the record. So this is how we do the African super chat. We call it through Western Union. I don't have Patreon here. You can. Why don't I get PayPal? And we've done all that. And I'm telling you that they block it or they really charge you for that. And then like that, I never did. And I try to stay under the radar of that. So this is just a simple channel. And the things that we discuss here are very relevant, pertinent, and truthful, devoid of all that nonsensical propaganda crap. Although we do destroy that nonsense from time to time here on this channel. This channel is basically about giving you the truth from Africa. Now, I'm here a living example of you can come to Africa, you can live a good life, and you can make it. And you can find out that. So I don't know if this video is going to work out, but I keep getting a message saying that the line is disabled, and this is early Saturday morning, so I expected it would be okay. Would you still stay in the United States? And I don't want to bash when it comes to talking about the U.S. But I understand that there are people on the channel that have a love for, their home, and their home happens to be in the United States. And I know that's where I'm at, and I've been here for 20 years, and I have no plan to go back to the United States. Okay, I always say I will never go back. But recently I was talking to an elderly friend of mine, and it was like, I worked in corporate America for some time, so uh, there may be an issue of getting Social Security money, and that surely will put me on a flight to, uh, back to the U.S. So that may be happening in a few years. Say never or will never come back again. That will bring me uh, come back and get my money if it's still there. I heard the government signed a bill that they could take the surplus of the Social Security money, which is around $2 trillion. So I don't know what's going to happen in the next 5 years if the money will be there or not. But anyway, it would be worth a try. So today's show is about what does Amin know that I don't know that makes him stay in Kenya for 20 years and not even go back to the U.S. and you know live and make a show and talk shit about the U.S. Okay, good. I'm not. I know there are people that their minds are like it's either this way or that way. Okay, how many of you either love Africa or you don't, or you hate America or you don't? Okay, even you get people that their brains can't register that he would come all the way to Africa and leave the U.S. That good house, that good white man taking care of us. Well, they have been putting up a facade that they're taking care of us, that we're better off than anywhere else in the world. President after president comes and says that the United States is the greatest country in the world, but this is not true. More and more people are seeing that there are other places that you can go and live. You know, you get up in the morning, you have money, you go buy breakfast like we did this morning, and then you come home, you feed your family, and then you get on the internet or you watch videos or you get, we get the cable TV, Nickelodeon, and I don't let my kids watch Nickelodeon, but the kids that they have the tablets, they can watch all kind of movies that we allow them to watch. Last night I was watching Good Times with my two daughters. They laughing and joking, and they, life continues. Now, and the point about Good Times, they like the theme song. They like the way the family interacts with each other. I have to be careful that I don't, show them shows where James Amos is not there. Because there's a time when they killed James off the show, and then they went on like she was single. They had like a single family with no husband, and I was like, that's not gonna never happen. You'll never see that show while I'm there. JJ acting a fool. And but the shows that show the father as a strong figure, we watched the episode of James was supposedly being affected by hypertension and high blood pressure. They did that was a nice show. He was getting upset all over the place, and then they decided they were going to take him to the doctor. And he finally agreed, and he was found to be okay. But this brought out a great point about how black people are really stressed, and that we're the number one getters, is bad English, number one getters of high hypertension, high blood pressure, because of the stresses that we go through living in supposedly the best country in the world. And and uh, the facts just don't the facts just don't add up to how how we're living. Now, black people, we're survivors. That's no doubt about that. But uh, the question comes to mind is that we can survive racism, we can survive Jim Crow, we can survive imprisonment, we can survive racism, we've survived 400 years, and the question comes up is like, what for? Why? Why go through that? Especially if you know what I know and know that there are places where you don't have to go through those things. You don't have to go through a lot of the things that we mentally shut out of our minds. of the pressures that we have in the U.S. You know, we get a job, we get a little bit of security, and we feel that we are okay. But the problem that we have is that it's not just us. There's another generation coming. Just like there was a generation before us, there will be a generation of people, blacks, coming up after us. Thanks, bro. I can't even see your name. Oh, I'm here to watch videos that ran. Name. Wow. We're here, and we have generations that come after us. And I submit to you people out there that we don't pay attention to the next generation. We're just trying to survive in this generation, and then let our children hopefully they fend for themselves. And then you get the next generation that has its way of doing things. Now, where we are today, with the government telling us that the next generation is going to be more poor than the generation we have now, where we are today with that one is, that is actually telling us to be prepared for the next generation to be poorer than the previous generation. And all this is inside the greatest nation, supposedly, in the world. You see? Now, I watched Trump on the news, and I watched him. I didn't have no choice because it was all over the YouTube channel. And then he was just, everything he was saying was the greatest. America's doing the great. We're the greatest. We're the greatest. Yet the Fed is cutting interest rates. And that's something that you don't do unless you're having a problem with the economy. And, I'm not an economist. And I depend on other people to help me with that information. But the signs are not that great, because on our car, my friends and family, they don't have anything positive to say. They still struggling at the same jobs, or they just got another job, and then here we are. And I'm 61 years old, so I can sit back and tell you, I was alive when Malcolm and Martin were murdered. And although I was a young boy, but I could see the reaction on my parents' face. That it was something that was deeply affected us. So I can come and tell you that back in the day, things were a lot better than where they are today. Back in the day, we had affirmative action, which meant that every company had to hire a certain number of blacks. They couldn't discriminate. Well, that's gone now. And not only is the affirmative action gone, the major companies took the manufacturing section where blacks were the majority and took that to China. If you knew what I know, would you really stay in America? If you knew that this company, the largest company in the United States, and it was allowed to take its manufacturing base and remove it and take it and give it to China, while telling you the Chinese are bad, the Chinese are no good, but that's exactly what the companies are doing. Still today, even with Trump talking about bringing the jobs back, nothing like that is happening. General Motors just laid off 150,000 workers, even though it has made record profits. It is an American company. What does that mean? When they can do that and keep us out of work. Detroit used to be the blackest city in the United States. Now look at it. It's all but destroyed. You've seen Michael Moore talk about Flint, Michigan, and that's right down the road from Detroit. And he watched it, the town just go to nothing. There are whole cities in the United States today that are just dump empty, because the major manufacturing jobs left, and it reduced the towns to nothing. People had to move. People had to migrate. Now, have you had to move in the last 5 years to another city or another state because of money problems and the money situation? That's a stressful ass thing to do. But you see, you're living in the greatest country in the world, and you should be able to settle in a nice place, nice community, raise your children, you know, be a pillar in the community, talk to your neighbors, network, do business things, and go out on trips. And people always know where to get you, and people can always come and stay with you and hang out. Is that now possible in this generation? Are we seeing that? Oh, if you knew what I know, you see, would you really stay in the United States? Hmm? Now, I have the privilege of seeing it on both ends. I can see what is going on in the United States, and I can witness what is going on in modern Africa today. And it is they're flipping. See? And I know more and more of you guys are there on the channel, and you're looking, you're trying to come up with reasons why America is better than to stay in Africa. It makes more sense for you to stay in America than it is for you to come to Africa. Number one reason is fear. Hmm? I know. Fear is there. But I would rather have a short-term fear than a long-term misery of unknowing. Oh, did I make a right decision? See, I mean, right now you're living in a country that itself destroyed the two towers in New York, blamed it on Arabs, whom they do, who's who they still buy oil from today, attacked another guy that was an enemy of the president's father, and they used the military to do that. If you knew what I know, fake the bombing of a Pentagon, telling you, the American people, that an airplane full of people punctured a hole, they're smaller than the size of the airplane, and yet no bodies, no luggage, no engine parts were found where the hole was. They tell you it disintegrated, and you believe that. If you knew what I knew, would you stay in America? Would you know that America, our Barack Obama president, bombed Libya, of which he said that is the worst thing he regretted in his presidency? That he put the no-fly zone on Libya. That's what he said. It was the greatest thing he regretted the most. But he did it, and people don't realize that Gaddafi said it himself, was just a private citizen. He was not in charge of the country. He was not the president. He had not been in charge of the country since 1972, and that he's just leader of the revolution, which he figured was an ongoing thing, and the people loved him. But the country was governed by a committee that was governed by a council, and they made all the laws that said the people would get money for all the people would get money for the oil. The education would be free. If you get married, you're gonna get a free house. He was the one who Gaddafi was the one who had nothing to do with really that. He was just another revolutionary, and the country took well care of him. Now Libya is 95, something like 90% desert, not much there. So of course the wealth was a lot since they got the oil. But yeah, and of course he spoke at the United Nations, but he didn't speak as the president of the Libyan people. If you knew what I knew, you could see America's treacherous behavior. If you knew what I know, and the way they continue today make you feel like Libya was run by Muammar Gaddafi, and that was why they had to take him out. How much tax money have we spent on bombs to destroy his hometown? and then just kill him. You see, and then laugh about it like Hillary Clinton was doing. You see, they're using more and more American resources and giving a damn what the public is saying because they just use propaganda to trick our minds. America is an oligarchy. That means that it's not run by people. It's run by a select few, and they can make up anything and say anything to make the people believe whatever they want to further their means. So you see, in order for them to get away with this, it has the country has to become more militarized. So therefore, you start seeing policemen now wearing, looking more and more like soldiers, walking the streets. More firepower is going up. Technical equipment is being used to spy on and go invade people's privacy, and they're telling you that things are only going to get worse. If you knew what I knew, would you really stay in America? I mean, I was black conscious way back in the 80s. And the things I read back then, the amount of books that people have been writing because of the fact they wanted to express the and try to make people understand what the racism was about. You know, people like Barbara Sizemore, she died now. People um, like Neely Fuller, he's almost dead. He's like, you know, these kind of works that these people put together. When you read it and understand it, which I was lucky enough to be able to do as a black man from South Central Los Angeles, uh, your comprehension and you can comprehend what it's saying, then what you get is an understanding. And that is why I'm saying, if you knew what I know, would you really stay? It would be, I mean, I could go on and on. We all know AIDS, because I seen the three generations come after me. They never knew a time when there wasn't AIDS, but I'm from a generation when that shit didn't even exist, and I saw them from the beginning, bringing it out, talking about it, faking it up. Dr. Robert Gallo saying that was the sole cause of HIV was the sole cause of AIDS, and FDA passing the AIDS thing in record time. I witnessed all that, and I was watching them with my mouth wide open. How can you people keep on saying that? And I used to sing from the highest tower. No one has ever proved that HIV lived in the human body. But today, I'd be laughed at. I'd be laughed at like a fool, telling me that thing. But no, has HIV ever been discovered in the human body, living in the human body under a microscope? I'm waiting. I'm still waiting 30 years later, 40 years later. You see? But if you knew what I know, could you really stay in the U.S.? Let me get these messages, man. Well, I see you guys are hitting me up. I can't believe you guys are woke. It depends on the person, right? Now, some dudes need some help. A lot of these youths who are beginning expect icons can. So, yeah, some of us need to leave the U.S. True. So you think the martial law is coming soon, like they are showing the movies? Okay, I don't even know how to pronounce it. I'm just gonna call you Z. The male economic empowerment, peace, and black power. Right on, brother. Okay. I hope you saw my show about the irrelevance of black power when you move into Africa, which is a great thing. Now, is America going to be going to the military thing? Yeah, they're already there. You already fear them, because what's the purpose of a military? It's for the people to fear. And right now, black people fear the police like the hell. I know if I was there and I was driving down the road and they saw them flashing lights today, I'd probably have a heart attack, in the back of my window. And I've been pulled over by the police. I had my hands on 10 and 2. I looked at my side view mirror, and that dude was pulling his gun in and out of his holster. And he's like, come to me asking me what was you? Why you put your hands up on the steering wheel? I'm like, shit, And then he started laughing, telling me, hey, that made me more suspicious. And I just shook my head. He took my driver's license, They was getting ready to do me in, but when he saw the name on the driver's license was Rahh, he hesitated, gave my license back, told me, "You have a nice day." You see, and that's another wonderful thing when you're in America and you black conscious, and that means you got the right thing on your driver's license. You got the right name. When you put your he pulled me over and pulled my license and seen it was like, Frank Washington, I would have been really messed up. They really just took me for a real long ride because the Washington family is not doing nothing for me. So it really got me. I think the U.S. will force some brothers to be gay, so we don't fight back. It's happening now. Okay, take your time when you type. I understand you need to put some information here, but you see now you're talking way back in the old days, gayism and all that. Now that's what I wanted to say about your previous statement here. Is it's about we are the product of our environment. Okay, is that right? No. We are the product of our environment, and the United States is an environment that is unhealthy for our people in more ways than one, including the weather. That's unhealthy weather. I mean, look at the sunshine behind me. God damn, it's every day. It's just a matter of one generation has to sacrifice itself so that the previous generations can survive or be assimilated into a stronger black culture. That's what the white man don't want. The greatest fear of the white man is that black people leave the United States in mass numbers. They put a lot of effort into propaganda to keep us from doing that. And they laugh every day when they see us talking about, I'm never going to leave America. This is my home. Let me see the in Cali, they got the Mexicans and cartel members working as the police. It's all bad. Yeah, ICE and all that kind of nonsense. It was never there when I was there. Mexicans were not a threat to us. They were a small minority of groups in Los Angeles. Black people ruled that place. But now today, it's gone. And people ask me, why you don't go back to it? What am I going to go back to? The life I live, you guys, is gone. There's no more black community. And that is another point. I don't know why nobody's discussing about this. Without a black community, do we really have an identity? Without a black community, do blacks even have an identity? You can't get the right foods you want, shop where you want. We don't have something that we can look to. I can bring my African friends to America. Okay, this is where I used to live. And they say, what? Where's all these white people? Oh, those are not white people. Those Mexicans. And they're like, what's so Mexican? What's the difference? There's not that much difference. They don't like us either. And, I can show them my house, but shit, my house is silly. I don't own it. You know what I'm saying? Anymore. So, you just be like bragging, but you really have no substance because all that's in the past. All that is in the past. We need to really wake up and look at our situation and try to, understand it better. Now, when I say wake up, people talk about wake up from sleep. There's another also version of wake up. We put ourselves to sleep when we ignore what is going on around us. And that is a very good defense for black people. I'm gonna just close my eyes and the shit's gonna go away. Allow propaganda will always go away. Propaganda will go away. The Chinese is killing Africans in Africa. Oh shit, But after a couple months, it's no longer in the news, so it's like it went away. You see, that's how propaganda is. Those lies, they just go away. You talk about it today, make headlines. They try to trick you into doing some action or make you do some inaction, and that's it. It's just the news. It doesn't have any repercussions. It doesn't have any side effects. It doesn't, you don't go back and visit it and they're still cleaning up the camp somewhere and they can make, side stories about it. No, it's propaganda is like, here's what happened to yesterday. And then that's it. They go on looking for the next opportunity, So black folks will be the first to disappear. We already disappeared, according to my sources and stats, because most of my friends that was alive when I was there is dead, and a lot of my family members have moved back south. because they and my friends and they're saying that it's because the rent in California is too high. Now I have some that moved to San Fernando Valley, but you see now you're not the majority in those communities anymore. So you were once a majority of a community, like around Crenshaw Boulevard, around Western Peak, all these areas where we used to dominate. Baldwin Hills, we used to dominate, but now more and more you find that we are not the majority. And you got brothers that are there, like my good friend Keith Young. He said he been there for living in the same house for over 30 years. And I'm like, what for? And everybody would used to be black. Now they're like a minority in their own lands. Like you got the house there, but everybody that was mean something to you, they done left. Some of them leave in the middle of the night, don't tell you because the circumstances has forced them, and they're embarrassed. So you just wake up the next day, see a for sale sign in their house, you go look close to the window, and goddamn, the house is empty. Fuck, that guy I've been knowing him for 40 years. I've been knowing him for 15 years. What did happen? He's just gone. So you feel like insulted because you feel like the guy, you thought the guy was going, at least give you a heads up or something. You thought you was better than that, but they just embarrassed. They sleep. They ignore it. They ignored the problem until now it hit them in the face. Boom, pow. Now I'm not talking about all blacks. When I say this, all blacks and all of us, the majority of us blacks in America are just okay. You understand? We're just okay. We got a job. We make money. We might have a second job, but we got a lot of credit debt. But everybody got that. We survive. It's amazing how we survive when we go to the supermarket. How we come up with great ideas to be able to pay for them goddamn groceries. But that's it. We're just surviving. We don't have no way to really aspire to greatness the way we used to. Unless it's going to be in sports and entertainment, we're going to be just there. California is no exception. It's like used to be where all the famous blacks and great things happen. I grew up there. I've seen it. Having that nice weather all year round allow people to follow their passions completely. Arnold Schwarzenegger, he had to be there lifting weights every day in the California. You go lifting weights up in the north. When winter came, he ain't gonna get up at no fucking 5 o'clock in the morning and in the freezing cold go to them basement pushing around them cold ass weights. You joking? You gotta be in California to do that great stuff. But no more. You see, blacks being pushed out. You see, if the economy, let me give you, if you people knew what I know, how could you possibly stay in the United States? Now, I'm not telling you anything that can't be proven. So before you guys start attacking me or saying, "Oh, I mean, there he goes bashing my home again," no. Let's talk about some of the great things that are good for blacks in the United States. You go ahead. Type. I'm waiting. Tell me what's great. They did a bill where they're gonna, I think it was in California somewhere, they're gonna cut down on the number of private prisons. We're gonna use private prisons. Is that a great thing, or that's a reverse of shit that they already pulled, made billions off of us? Anything else? They haven't made a committee yet for ADOS to the government to look into giving us money, but people are still talking about it like it might be a possibility, a dream come true. All of us get $100,000 each, and I wouldn't go for that money. That's fuck you money, and I wouldn't I wouldn't go for it. You're right about everything, Sarah. Yeah, well, I don't want to be. Unfortunately, I try not to talk about things I don't know nothing about. But a lot of our people, and I don't know. I have to praise some of you haters. You guys are really giving me, you're giving me a pass, because I don't see what I don't get those brothers that come on Dynasty Show and they be talking that crap, man. But I was on the O'Shea's channel and they really tried to give me, tried to stretch me out a new booty hole. And I was like, fighting my own. Telling them they was asking me what this, all that. Then they, naturally what they do after they can't win the argument, they go into your character. They try to find a flaw in your character somewhere in your past. But I told them, like I say, go to my Facebook channel, see my 20 years in Africa. Well, I'm gonna be a criminal? Why? You see how? This doesn't make no sense. Now you start all that nonsensical propaganda, or you got that mindset that they have injected into you in the United States. That thought in your mind that comes out and says the nigga must have did something wrong. If you just investigate long enough, you're gonna find that the guy did something wrong. And I'm like, you can investigate me all you want. The key for me was that when I was coming up, I wanted to be a policeman. So I knew I had to have a certain behavior to pass that background examination. And that led me to have certain rules in my life that I followed, about abiding the law and, not being thinking. I majored in criminal justice. I graduated from Rio Hondo Police Academy because I wanted to be a policeman. So that really saved me in my early days from going into drugs, because I knew guys walking around with the pager on their hip selling drugs. I'd seen them driving brand new cars. I'm like, damn. And I had contemplated like, I should try that. I'm smart. I probably could do it better than them. But at the end of the day, it was like, nah. I knew how the justice system worked, and I knew that it only be a matter of time before I would be at least accused of something. Someone got to be in the enemy's house, right? Okay, no, on Shay Show, those brothers from my generation, they were not really used to older, smart guys like you. They never really hung out with brothers like you. Yeah, I was with, go to my Facebook channel, Black Man's Guide to Moving to Modern Africa, and you'll see me and O'Shea going back and forth. I'm from South Central, brother. I'm not the one where you want to come and crack jokes on me on any kind of social media. I know how to defend myself. Like I said, I'm not supposed to even be in Africa. Somebody like me, I'm not supposed to be here. But when these guys talking about I was in LA, I was with the hood and I was with the gangs and all that nonsense, I'm like, no, man, I was there with the gangs too, but I wasn't in the gang. I refused to go there. So when they come up walking around throwing up them gang signs, I just shake my head, man. I'm going to school, get education. You knuckleheads is joking, you know. Sure, I got beat up one time. They took my 27. No, I had 27 cents. We was on the bus, and they jumped on the bus, school bus, not the school bus, but the bus was full of school people coming home from school, and they started beating people and taking their money. And so I was happened to be one of the person that was standing. So they passed me up. Then they came back around and the guy stuck his hand out like, give me your money. And I was like, I don't have no money to give you. And then the guy punched me in the face in front of everybody on the bus. Then he ran off the bus. So the bus takes off. Everybody's quiet because they've been robbed by the Crips. And then I looked around, people looking at me, and I'm like, shit, at least I got my 27 cents. He didn't take it, And I remember that clearly. So yeah, I was not the one to be dealing with the gangs. And later on, when I got into martial arts, they didn't have a chance. They looked at me. One of them trying to, oh man, I see you in that karate. Started punching at me, man. I stood back, did a check, chop, finger poke to the eye, and that fool was done. And so was all his friends who was waiting to see what I knew. Yeah? And from there, I never had no trouble from there. No, I was there with them, but I wasn't really walking around with that. That shit was nonsense to me. I didn't know I could eat. So Amara was a brother who stopped at the liquor store saying, "Are you brothers giving these Indians your money? You are the product of your environment. Where you gonna go? I'm gonna walk where? Go to what black store? I go to the black liquor store and shit, they ain't got half the shit I really want. They're overpriced, and you know how it is. Them foreigners come in, they open them shops, they know how to get us and know what we want. They put that bottle of pig feet on the goddamn counter. I know it's not there now. It better not be. I knock that shit off the counter. I come back to the US and see a bottle of pig feet today. But back then, yeah. You got all the stress in day-to-day life being black. When you go to your liquor store, like you give a shit who gonna take your money? Take my money. As long as I get my fucking I can't say smokes because I didn't smoke, but you go there and get what you want, and walk out. That's business. You know. So now here in Africa, everybody's black. Not only is my shopkeeper black, but he's my buddy. You know what I mean? If I come and I'm short on money, I can get a little quick loan from him. And I give him an extra little few coins for the when I pay him back, and it's a deal. It's an agreement. You know what I'm saying? I make sure I pay my man back, so that the next time when I don't have money or my kids go to the Duke and buy bread. Tell James to give you the bread, and I'll pay him tomorrow. Yeah, that's the beauty of you having your neighborhood store. That's not supposed to just be someplace you go and people don't know you. I be knowing the people's kids and knowing their family. My wife knows all about the guy's family. So I don't really have that kind of time to be hanging with him. But we talk. That's beautiful. My clothes, the guy cut my hair. Yeah, we sit, we talk, we joke and laugh. So you could take it for granted being here. But for a black person coming from the United States and used to being a minority, you come here and you just see everybody's loving and happy. You got one or two choices. You can try to fit the hell in, which might be a little difficult. You don't want to be embarrassed. Somebody tell you no, you're not part of us. That's never going to happen in Africa. Or you can just rebel against the whole situation and pretend like you're totally not together with them. You know what I mean? You're totally different, and you expect to be different. I'm from America. We don't do that in America. So, everybody looking at you and telling you, "But you here now? You in Africa now?" So what did I do? I just take it both ways. Sometimes I'm this way, sometimes that way. It depends on how I feel with the people that I'm dealing with. They just started with hate, but never attacks. Yeah. I think that you just type in today, huh, brother? Hey, do you know they passed a bill in Cali where they can refuse to hire us due to kinky hair, so it's a wrap here. I have always said that things are gonna just get worse. That's the whole purpose of this channel. I'm here today, 42 minutes into this thing, telling you guys this is the case, and that we need to wake up so we can have our own rebelliousness by you guys saying, "Look, man, here's a few dollars for you." The reverse, reverse it. Put that $5 in there and say, "Look, I agree with you. Let's get more information like this." So in this channel, in this program, we're talking about if you knew what I knew. And believe me, I had a library of books. I was Black Conscious in 1986 when the VHS machine first came out. And the brother knew how to operate a VHS machine and created videos that really got to this direct point. You had no denying. If anybody could read a book, anybody could write something in a book. But when he came out with the VHS tape showing, talking, lecturing, and then showing the pictures, it was no joke. When he started showing, what the Black Madonna and Child, they're showing the pictures of the Pope worshiping the Black Madonna and Child back in the 80s, you couldn't deny. But in the 70s, people could just be disputing every which way. It's not true because he wrote that shit in the book. So that makes you go. Now, from there, he could go back and he can give us videos and pictures of what they were talking about in Stolen Legacy, what they were talking about in Black Destruction of Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams. They could put a face on it. They started getting those pictures from Martin Luther King days and showing you the picture of Malcolm being assassinated. That bring you back to home. So when I came up and became conscious in 1980, it was no brainer. You couldn't deny it. And it will be careful. So you couldn't deny it. Oops, sorry. So, what we have today is people that have to be put to sleep through media, entertainment, news, sports. How many of us are watching these programs on TV? And watch it for an hour or 2 hours a day. But what if you could put in that amount of time in Black consciousness and study your history? You see? Would you be the same person? And you say, I don't want to be the person because I don't want to think. I want to just be like sleep. And this is another point when people say wake up. It's like we put our own selves to sleep on purpose rather than look at the reality of the situation. You got kids. Your kids in the public school? Are your kids in the public school? Really? Or what are they learning? You know? Are they gonna have a black identity or are they gonna have an American identity? You see? And that's one thing I hate when brothers come to Africa and they try to pretend like they smarter than the African. You ain't hardly smarter than the African. The African got his own country. He got his own military. He got his own stock market. You know what black people got? I'm waiting. Because we talk about the African stupid, the Chinese taking advantage of him. That motherfucker got his own government. He's been his own government here. You know, how you gonna say you smarter, you better off? That's jokes. Total jokes. If you knew what I know, see what I see, would you really stay in the United States? That's a real big question here. Yeah, because everyone say, wow, you've been in the United States, you lived in Africa for 20-something years. Yeah, I'll be here 30 years from now, you'll still see me here. You know, I got family, I got children. You're joking. Oh, Blue Rhythm, how are you, bro? I hope you're bro. Black in America live in economic oppression since the 1970s. Same goes for black countries on this planet. The bankers hate black people. Okay, I kind of disagree with you on the black bankers hate black people thing. Racist people hate black people. If they're a banker, that just means you're in trouble. But banks run a principle of money. Now you see, Africa got their own banks now. They got an African Central Bank here. They don't have to borrow money from the U.S. anymore. Hear much more talk about IMF and World Bank. That shit's gonna disappear. You know, the Chinese got billions of dollars to take care of the giant infrastructure projects at low interest rates. Unimaginable compared to what the IMF and the World Bank was doing. They was giving high interest rates and then conditions that you had to stop corruption in your country. Meanwhile, in the United States, they got Enron scandal, and AIG, but they just act like that shit don't count. That shit was wild. So, oh, you gotta do hair? Okay. Let me move back then. But I'm almost done. But anyway, let me move back then. How's that? Okay, so my wife is here. I'm in the middle of her salon. It's morning time, and customers are now coming in. I know I got to get out of here, but I just want to come on again and then thank thank you guys for the super chat and from Helios Ajabi in London, brother. When you come down to Kenya, make sure you look me up, and we're gonna hang out. The rest of you guys, if you like the program, please do the necessary. You've seen Eva there. This is their contact. See, and this is the number that we use for business, and this just happened to be under her name. We tried to use other means of chatting, but they blocked them because we're here in Africa. So when you send money from America and it goes through the exchange rate, that's supposed to be only for white people to do, not us. So when you come on out here and support this channel, you're doing the opposite. It's not like you support other channels. I won't put any names out there, but the money stays right there in the United States. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't do any good there. But when you invest in this channel, because you're getting it directly from somebody that's living in Africa and loving it, your money is doing something for that right there. And I have my book. I'm giving out the PDF versions for those people that really want to see what I was writing back in 2005. And we're going to continue this. Now, there are a lot of things that's going on in the U.S. Oh, here come Noisemaker. I know I got to get off the line now. Morning, Julie. Yeah. And you know, if you guys want that, we're gonna try to improve a bit. Now, I'm not trying to make this channel blow up like Dynas's show and O'Shea's 670,000. But at the same time, it's a need for this channel. It's a need to have some fresh information. Hear somebody tell you that the Chinese are not invading Africa. They're the best thing that ever happened to Africa. You're like, what? It's because you're following the propaganda in the United States. You're a product of your environment. You know, that Gaddafi didn't run his country. He was never the leader or the president of his country when they killed him. He was just a normal citizen. But, yeah, because you're the product of the United States propaganda machine. And what did I always say? The greatest enemy to black men. You guys listen up. The greatest enemy to the black men is Western mass media, news, propaganda, news, entertainment, and sports. That kind of thing can trick your mind and make you make a failed decision, or at the best, make you freeze from coming to Africa when you were contemplating making the trip. So I'm going to come off now, and I appreciate you guys coming on at this late hour. I'm done with American women. I need a Kenyan wife piece, but yeah, okay. I don't. You see, I have both. I've had both Black American women and African women, and there are good things about American women in the physical realm and the mental realm, but the mental psychology of the Black woman, because of the environment she came up in, is terrible. And an African woman doesn't have all the baggage, hatred, and violence in her. And they know that they have a job to do as far as being a woman, and that one is very inducible for me to have a family. And I don't think I would be able to have had a family with a Black woman, and she just cut the family, destroyed our family because she wanted to be independent. Took my kids and just said, okay, fine, done. And I was shocked. I was devastated. Took my son. But you see, in Africa, we don't have that kind of situation. So, yeah. So, you can find plenty of women in Africa, the marrying type, and just come on down. The truth is always watching a few foolishness in the court just to abuse it or watching. So that's why I say, let's move together. You guys write me up in the comment section, and we will do another video soon. Okay, this is Rahh saying peace.